We finish ghusl and kafan. Go to the prayer. Salat al-Janazah, go to the prayer, ya Sheikh. Jazakallah khair. Salat al-Janazah, fard kifaya. I explained the meaning of the fard kifaya before. If some of the Muslims performs it, then everybody is okay. A Muslim brother or a Muslim sister dies in admitted and there is no Salat al-Janazah for him, everybody is sinful. Okay, some people, by the way, they don't pay attention to that. I'm not here, by the way. Today, I'm going through some pictures and quick rules. Next week, I'm going to be sitting and giving you the details from the hadith and everything. But today, with the pictures and for the time, inshallah ta'ala. I'm not going to be talking today, for example, about the merits and the virtue of following the janazah. I'm talking today about the technicality of praying the salat al-janazah and the death or the burial, inshallah ta'ala. The person is, as we explained, that the dead person is ready. Somebody asked me last week, and I'm repeating it again. After we wrap the body, we do the kafan to the dead person, no way to uncover the face. His wife didn't see him, his mother, his brother, whatever, her, doesn't matter. I didn't used to allow anybody to do that. For some political issue, benefit, some people they do it. But the reality that no way that you can uncover the face. As you see now, we can use the casket, no problem with it. But we don't bury with the casket. The person has to go to the grave, as I will explain, inshallah ta'ala. You put the person like that, who can tell me the difference between the two pictures? Who is a sister and who is a brother? Which one is sister, which one is brother? Second one is sister, because you guys read the Arabic. It's okay, it's okay. I'm just like, which means, when I have a brother, a dead body for a man, the imam stands right at the head. That's the way of the Prophet ﷺ. The Prophet ﷺ did it. Woman in the middle. The imam led the salah exactly. He is at the front leading the salah. People goes in rows. Okay? طيب. Go ya Fahim. طيب. Salat al-Janazah simply. Leave this, don't read now, and we'll read it together after, inshallah ta'ala. It's 4 takbir. You say Allahu Akbar like that 4 times. Okay? And you make 2 ruku' and 3 sujood. Okay. So it's only takbir standing like that. Allahu Akbar. After the first takbir, you read al-Fatiha. Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen until wala dhalin. Okay? Then the Imam say Allahu Akbar. I have 2 things here. Some schools of thought, they say that the Imam should raise his hand, and as well as the ma'moom in Salat al-Janazah, like that with the 4 takbir. Some schools of thought, they said that it's only at the first takbir. Both ways you're okay. No, don't make a big deal out of it. I know of people like, if he prays next to someone, raise his hand, he'll raise his hand. If the person next to him doesn't raise his hand, he doesn't raise his hand. Ya akhi, be yourself. Khalas, you follow that school, you're fine. Allahu Akbar, Al-Fatiha. Allahu Akbar, As-Salat al-Ibrahimi. The second takbir, I say, Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad kama sallaita ala Ibrahim wa ali Ibrahim wa barik ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad kama barakta ala Ibrahim wa ali Ibrahim fil alamin innaka Hamidum Majid. That's the second takbir. Third takbir. And here is you have to, at the end of the day, any dua is acceptable. But make some effort to memorize some of the narrated or reported dua from the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam has special dua for the dead person. Allahumma aghfir lahu warhamhu. After the third takbir, I make a special dua to that person. So I have to differentiate in using my words, if a man or a woman. So Allahumma aghfir lahu warham, that's a man. Allahumma aghfir laha warhamha, it's a woman. So I have to make sure that I'm actually making dua for this person. I'm not just praying the salah because everybody prays. Because this person needs your dua. That's why we are praying for him. We are offering that prayer, especially for that person who just passed away. After the third takbir. طبعا Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam has lots of the dua. I will, inshallah ta'ala, be saying all of these dua next week in details. Okay, number 4. Some scholars say that after the fourth takbir I stay quiet and then I say taslim. Some scholars they said that it's a quick words you say Allahumma la tahrimna ajrahu wa la taftinna ba'dahu. It's a very quick dua. Allahumma la tahrimna ajrahu wa la taftinna ba'dahu. Yani oh Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give us the reward of participating in his janazah and don't get us in any fitna after him, after this person. Then the imam say assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. And here is another thing. I'm trying to make it as simple as I can. You will find some people, if you go pray, if you go for Umrah or Hajj inshallah ta'ala, you will have to pray Salat al-Janazah every time you are in the Haram. Haram Madani or Haram Makki. Both. MashaAllah, lots of people are dying over there. Okay? So that school of thought, they said assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. I'm not naming schools by the way. Okay? They say one takbir on the on the right hand side. That's it. One taslim, sorry. One taslim on the right hand side. And you still can do both. I do both. When I used to read the salat al-janazah, I do both of them. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Done. We finished salat al-janazah now. Okay? I'll go over this and I'll see. Go back here. So this is exactly what we do. The only thing here, sometimes, I mentioned that last week, sometimes we have a little baby who was not even a baby, a fetus. Or a little baby, didn't do anything. You have to also, when you read the dua, go and read the meaning of the dua in your language. To know what you're saying. So I'm saying, oh Allah, forgive him. Oh Allah, have mercy upon him. Oh Allah, make him from the people of Jannah. Oh Allah, clean him from his sins. What sins, man? This is just a fetus. There is no sins. Even a little baby, no sins at all. The dua here has to be for the parent, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them, another kid, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give them sabr for the musibah that they have. Okay? Somebody went late. Let me cover this, Muhammad, I'll get back to you. Somebody went late. So I came, the imam is praying salat al-janazah, and the imam in the third takbir. If I'm sure which takbir the imam in, I'll start from this. Allahu Akbar, Allahumma aghfir lahu warhamhu afi wa'fu anhu. Then the fourth takbir, then I stand in my place and I get the first and the second takbir. If I can, if I have the chance. I'll tell you what happens. Always in janazah, it becomes like a chaos right after the imam finish. So finish with the imam and you're okay. It's not a fard that you have to get all the four takbir. You can finish with the imam and you're done. Go ahead, Muhammad.
Just having a question about when you have female and male at the same time janazah, how the position you are stand for the imam to.
I'll tell you why. That's a technical thing that we do. We move the casket. Know how we do it? So I stand now in front of the head of the brother. However, it's the middle of the sister. Okay, did you get it? You guys got it? So I have a brother and a sister. But another technical issue now. A brother and sister, to whom should I make the dua? To a male or a female? Plural, and that's it. I will do it in dual form, which is hard in Arabic. But you still can do it. Okay? At the end of the day, whatever you can do as much as you can and make dua to the person sincerely from your heart. Go ahead, Efraim. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam prayed janazah to somebody who's already buried in his grave. Which means somebody passed away in your family and you had to go back home. By the time you go over there, the janazah already is buried and everything is done. What you do, you can go to the grave, face the qibla and pray salat al-janazah to this person. Yes, I understand. It's a difference of opinion. Some scholars, they said no, but the Prophet ﷺ did it. I'll go with this opinion. So,
talking about a few hours later or like a year?
No, I'm not talking about a year later. I'm saying that you're taking a flight back home, yani not after a year. The other thing that very linked to this, as-salah ala al-ghaib. To pray salat al-janazah for somebody who passed away in somewhere else. I'll tell you what I do, and this is the majority of the scholars out of this. You'll find some people coming to you, I'll give you an example. Brother, a well-known person from Egypt passed away a couple of months ago. He used to be like the leader of whatever, a big group in Egypt. He passed away. Like every day in Egypt somebody passed away, I'm telling you, every day. But the brother came and said that, should we do Salat al-Janazah? Yeah, but they did it over there. Why should they do it over here? If the Janazah already is done over there and the Salat al-Janazah already offered for the person and you're sure that it's offered for the person, you don't make a group Salah for him again. Done. You don't call for Salat al-Ghaib. However, if, for example, air crash, 100% nobody made Salat al-Janazah for him physically. So we'll do it over here, somebody will do it in Egypt, somebody will do it in America, we can do it, we still can do it. Because nobody did that Salah, or offer the Salat al-Janazah for that person. Okay? طيب. طيب. الذي يموت في بلاد أخرى تستحب صلاة الجنازة يصلي المسلمون على قاتل نفسه وعلى قطاع الطرق ولكن يستحب لأمير البلد. طيب. This is a very important important issue. A brother come to you and say, Ya akhi, this brother passed away yesterday and it happened here in Edmonton. A couple of times. This brother, he killed himself. Yeah, we know the hadith said clearly that the person who killed himself, he dies wal-'iyadhu billah. But Ya akhi, Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did not forbade us from offering Salat al-Janazah to even somebody who killed himself. Because I don't know what was the circumstances, so I give him the benefit of doubt and I offer Salat al-Janazah for him. Even somebody who didn't pray, who didn't used to pray, I'll offer Salat al-Janazah. However, they said that the imam, but I don't do it to avoid the fitna. Because if he is Arab, the non-Arab people will say that, why, if he is non-Arab, the Arab people will say, why special us, why no. The imam would do it just to avoid creating fitna in the community. However, he shouldn't do it just to let the people know that this is the punishment, or not the punishment, ta'zir, the penalty, can we say? Yani something like a kind of like a disciplinary act or whatever. Yani. It's a procedure that the imam takes to let the people know that this is the outcome of not doing, performing the salah or doing something bad like that. You're not going to get the consensus of the community praying for you. طبعا we pray in the masjid, however it's better to pray Salat al-Janazah close to the graves in the open space. Because people, by the way, not here, but back home, for example, people like, some people go, no, even here. Some people even entering the masjid, they don't have wudu, man. They come for the janazah only. And then just what they're doing, they pray Allah, Allahu Akbar. He doesn't know what to do. So outside is less harm to the masjid, if we can. But it's okay to pray inside the masjid. Again, I'm not talking about the virtue and the rewards of doing all of this. I will cover this next week. Technically. You can see now there is a dead person here carrying her. If we can, 4 people only carrying the dead body, it's enough from the 4 sides. If we need more people should go. There is no specific thing about it. The only thing here is, if it's a lady, 100% you get the mahram. And I covered this last week. Very important. Don't be shy, man. Go to the people, tell them you're not allowed to touch her body. One word. What I used to, some brothers, they want to help here in the cemetery. They want to help. And he goes even before us, before the family. He knows that he's going to go to the grave to take the body from us. A couple of times, I tell the brother, get out. Right away, get out from here. Let the family decide. If they don't have enough mahrams to carry the body, we will help them. We have to. But the principle is that there has to be a family members, mahram for the lady, and a family member even for the man. And Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam يقول أسرعوا بالجنازة. This is very funny back home. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, hasten when you carry the janazah. We're not like walking, like hanging out. We're in a very serious situation. First of all, I shouldn't say or speak worldly talks. I shouldn't be smoking. Some people are smoking in the graves. Some people, they sit on the side and finish some business. Some people don't understand what they're doing, man. But the worst thing is when you go to some people of, not a Sufi background, but a corrupt background, because not all Sufi bad at the end of the day. Sufism is something great. But some people with a corrupt background, they're carrying the dead body, and they are walking fast. They're walking fast. And they come back and say, Ya akhi, he was like flying. You are flying, not him. He was not flying. He was like, you're carrying him. And you are flying with him. You want to just get rid of this, because it's heavy. And you know what, when you carry a heavy thing, it's like you want to go quickly. He doesn't fly. He doesn't go fast. He is a dead person at the end of the day. يسن الإسراع غير الشديد بالجنازة. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم أسرعوا بالجنازة يجوز أن يمشي الناس. طيب. Some people while carrying the janazah, 2 points here, and good that we have some sisters here too. Some people, they think that following the janazah with the word follow means in the dictionary. What does it mean in dictionary? To go behind something, right? So some people, they say that following the janazah means that I'm behind the janazah. So I have to be behind it. If I'm driving my car have to, no. Following means that I'm going with the janazah. Tashyi' al-janazah. I'm doing that I'm going for that purpose. So I can be at front of the janazah, on the right hand side, on the left hand side, or at the end, I'm fine. Or at the back, I'm fine. Any spot, I'm okay with it. Number 2, for the sisters, no way, take it from me. Because last week, look what happened. This is what happens in here, in this community, the community of Edmonton. The Sheikh says no. Some people listen. Until something happened for them or for one of the relatives, or somebody passed away in their families, and she wants to go. She has to find the way for it. What is the way? Sister so-and-so, she was with us. She was with you. She had to tell you that it's okay. So one of the brother came to me, Sheikh, I know Allah, I believe you. But my wife went, there's a brother or sister passed away, and all the sisters, they went. So one of the sisters told him, no, don't worry. You're okay to follow the janazah, I'm telling you. No, absolutely not. The sisters shouldn't follow the janazah for 2 reasons. And I believe Sulaiman asked me that question last week. Somebody asked me, Jamal, this is very simple. I double check it today, and alhamdulillah, the 2 reasons that I give are the 2 main reasons behind forbidding the sisters from following the janazah. Number 1, they're weak. You cannot guarantee that the sister will follow the janazah in a very calm way. She might scream, she might faint, something happened to her. Weak, that's the nature of the woman at the end of the day. And number 2, mixing. That's a group of men going to the grave. And I told you, that happened a lot with me. Where the sister, they come to the grave, and all of a sudden you are at the grave, burying a person, and you look right or left and you find the sister. Like, it's a very disgusting thing. You can't believe that this is allowable in our religion. However, some people, they say it's okay. But the Prophet ﷺ, again, these are all the ahadith and the ayat. I will bring them inshallah next week, and we'll talk about them in detail. But say as Mu'atiyya radiallahu anha, Mu'atiyya, she was, imagine, when we say Mu'atiyya, I said it last week. Mu'atiyya, she was the lady performing ghusl for the daughter of the Prophet ﷺ. One word, no way, you can't argue about it. She said, the Prophet ﷺ forbade us, ladies, from following the janazah. Okay, here you will find that I'm referring that even some scholars, They said that they shouldn't visit the grave, and they take the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, لَعَنَ اللَّهُ زَائِرَةَ الْقُبُورِ. One word. Yani some scholars, they said clearly, the Prophet ﷺ said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala curses the ladies who visit the graves. But you will find this faced with another hadith in which the Prophet ﷺ was forbade us to visit the graves, but he allowed us to do it. Some scholars, they said that you can go later on in a safe mood, as we say, in a safe circumstances, and go visit quickly and live with your husband, with your brother, with your son, whatever it is. Okay? It's not recommended to sit before the janazah come. You go to the grave before the janazah and you sit, it's not recommended, it's actually undesirable. There are 3 times in which the Prophet ﷺ forbade us to bury a person in. 3 times. However, if we have to, we do it sometimes. When the sun rises, and نصلي في نقبر في موتانا حين تطلع الشمس, that the first of the sun rises, when the sun rises, and number 2, at the time, these are the times in which it's forbidden to pray sunnah. It's not the time for fard, and you shouldn't pray sunnah even at the time. When the sun rises, and when the sun reaches its zenith, which is waqt zawal, and when the sun sets. Anything between these 3 times, you're okay. I'm moving with the janazah, and it took us long time. By the time we arrived, it was the time of Maghrib. What I'm going to do? I have to do it. However, it's not recommended. Okay? Excuse me. Here's the point that I talked about before. When we're burying a sister, always we use a blanket at the casket. Number 1, even the casket is covered. We put a blanket, and we use the same blanket as a cover for the whole grave. Then we do the process, not allowing anybody to look at the body, as much as we can. If you are in a situation like that, a sister from your family passes away, you have to be firm about this. Go ahead. Here is the actual burial. How to do it? I'll tell you, these pictures refers or reflects the perfect way of burial in Islam. You and I, our cultures back home and over here, still the laws don't allow us to do, but as much as we can, I'm saying. يسن أن يدخل الميت القبر من عند رجلي القبر ثم يسل سلا فإذا لم يمكن ذلك أدخل من جهة القبلة. All the graves should be designed facing the Qibla. Number 1, that the person in his grave facing the Qibla. And if the grave is not designed in that case, we have to put the person facing the Qibla. And when we put the person, it's not very wide. Over here it's wide, but it shouldn't be big and wide space. So we put him from we enter his legs first, and then his face. If we can, we put the whole. If we cannot, we put the whole body together. طيب. اللحد أفضل من الشق أو الشق. The lahd, that's the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. I can explain for years about it, but when we go to the next page, you will see the lahd and you will see the shaq. That's it. Go ahead, Fahim. Okay. This picture 24, this one is lahd, and this one is shaq, and this one is lahd. So lahd, basically, it's a space next to the wall for the whole body. Okay, in the bottom of the grave. So the whole thing is grave, but the lahd is that dig. That dig in the bottom of the grave. What I do, that's enough for your body. So you put the body facing the qibla, and then you cover it with bricks, tube level, with bricks. And then you bring mud and you cover and you fill the spaces between the bricks. Done. The bricks, there is a space between the body and the bricks, allows the decomposing of the body. So the body will have a space to decompose. Okay? Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that this is the sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and it's better than this. What we do over here, to be honest with you, we don't do any of this. Yani that's a reality, because I don't think the law allows this over here. So what we do, it's like a box over here, a box empty from the bottom, open from the bottom. Okay, we put the person next to the dirt, and we cover the whole body with a concrete box. Yeah, concrete. Yani we open the grave like that, and they get the concrete box open from bottom and top, and then we cover the top with the lid. That's it.
Is that because of regulations?
Yes, you have to follow the law. You can do it better than this.
In Alberta, we have clay soil, so it doesn't sit very well. So that's once you actually cover the whole body and everything, but if you don't do the concrete, everything will collapse. So that's why they do.
Yes. But you have to make sure that the wall doesn't it will go on the whole body. So you have to make it concrete. Okay? طيب. This is the laht. This is the shaq. This is the laht. هو أن يحفر الميت في قاع القبر حفرة من جهة القبلة يوضع فيه. So it's a little hole in the bottom of the grave for you specifically. طيب. When we put the person, we say Bismillah wa ala millati Rasulillah. Some people they say wa ala sunnati Rasulillah. So Bismillah, on the religion of the Prophet ﷺ, we bury our dead people. طيب. We put them on the right hand side, facing the Qibla. Never ever uncover the face. Because one brother asked me that question last week, and I said, no, we don't uncover the face. The only case that we uncover the face is if somebody dies in his ihram clothes. He's making hajj. That's a different story. Okay, but the normal people, we don't uncover the face. What we do, when we put the person in his grave, well, I feel some people are scared when we talk about this. Like everybody's looking, wow. Who's going to soccer tonight? No way. But after this, going to play, man. I'm gonna go home, make salah the whole night, and make some shay, stuff like that. So the only thing that we do, we untie the knots that we did. We have to do that, but we don't uncover anything, neither the face nor the feet nor nothing yet. Some people, it's common mistakes. I'm telling you, that's what the people think. And some people, they do that. They bring a little, not rock, a little brick, and they put it under his head, like it's like a pillow. Wrong and haram. Don't do that. Okay, some people, they do it. Okay? طيب. Go ya Sheikh Fahim, next one. One of the sunnah of the Prophet I'll tell you, this is amazing. People, when they know something, they kill you with applying the sunnah. One of the sunnah of the Prophet after burying the person, that you take three times dirt, little bit of dirt, and you throw it on the body. Wallahi, I saw people like getting the shovel. Yahi, you're punishing him. What are you doing? We're deal with this body as if he feels everything you do. Okay? And I usually stop the people from doing that because they don't know how to do it. No, hold on. He said 3 little, I don't know, hatawat. Whatever, inches, whatever. Jamal said. طيب. يسلوا أن يرفع. Yeah. So I'm done now. I'm going to cover this. Look what we do. We get the name, not name tag, stone, whatever they call it. Headstone. The headstone. This is, to be honest with you, against the sunnah. However, we need something to let us know that there is a grave over here. So they said that make it like Sinam al-Jabal. You know the top of the camel? What they call it? The hump of the camel. You get something and you put it this way, and you go to the head and you put one brick. Done. Khalas, it's a grave. Nobody's going to touch that place and make it a little bit higher than the level of the ground. كما فعل بقبره صلى الله عليه وسلم ليعرف أنه قبر فلا يهان ويضع على قبره حجر عند رأسه ليعرف كما فعل صلى الله عليه وسلم بقبر عثمان بن مظعون رضي الله عنه. تسن للرجال زيارة القبور للدعاء لهم والاعتبار. طبعا these are things that shouldn't be done. Nothing of these things should be done to the grave. I'll tell you what happens. Back home, because some people, I think a brother asked me a question today about, I love my body to be buried back home, right? That was the question?
Yeah, that's what I asked you. Like, if I die here, but if I wanted to be buried in my country, so what are the regulations?
No, the regulations is not me, it's not mine.
What is the rules?
The rules, it takes like, you know what? The sooner you will be in your grave in 10 days. At least 10 days to be there. Because they have to, you have to go through autopsy over here. From what I saw myself, yani, and then you have to arrange for the shipment company, because you're going to be shipped like goods now. You're not being treated as a human being anymore. It's like you are in the bottom of the aircraft, and you never know what's going to happen to your body. Tell you know what? Stay here. Stay here is better. Although it's very cold, but you know what are you going to do? You're not going to happen. It's complicated, not complicated, but people do it, and it's expensive too. However, I said before, it's recommended to be buried in the place that you die in. However, it's not haram to move the body. It's not haram at all. Because I want to be buried in Egypt. You don't bury two people. We were saying that last week, me and Jamal, that when you buy a plot over here, you actually own it. But it doesn't mean that you put 3-4 people from your family in one plot to save money. Yani, don't do that. Unless there is no space. Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam did that after the battle of Uhud, when he buried every two of the Sahaba together, and you make a separation between them. You should do that.
Sorry, just a clarification. So when here, in the cemetery here, they do put separations between, like let's say there's one plot and it's a family.
No.
They don't put separation?
No. You missed that, Jabal. Because you were explaining, I thought that you know how it works.
I haven't seen that.
No. You don't know how the process. Look what they have here. And you remember, man, in the funeral society.
I haven't seen more than one.
Okay, I'll tell you what happens. They have a plot. They'll tell you, buy the plot for you and your family. It's not for the person and his family to be buried in, for the first one to die from the family. Okay? It's not for the whole family. You missed it. No. It's for the first one to die. The one who will get the discount, the first one to die from the family. It was about discount. I was running the campaign myself. I know exactly how it works. No, it says, still you own the plot. This is technical thing here. You own the plot. And I give you the story of the Turkish brother that took his son after 2 years, buried over here. They took the body. You still can do anything with this plot. You own it. You have a owner, you have a contract, an agreement with the funeral society. But we don't bury two people in the same grave. What we can do in the future, but the problem here that the body takes long time. They said up to 20 years to decompose. It will take time. What they can do after that 20 years, they can start reusing the graves again because the person is not there anymore. You know what I mean? But you don't put two people in the same spot. It's not even, it can't fit for two people, by the way. You will put them on one another. Yeah, you can't. It will never fit for two people. It will force you to put them on one another, which is not Adami, and it's not something that we should do. Okay? Visiting the graves, doing food for the family is a sunnah. Family of the deceased to do food for the people, again is the sunnah. Look, and some people, they're like, man, he has a situation in his family. He has a death case in his family. And he is ordering food for the people. That's against the sunnah. The people should get the food for you. And that's the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, اصنعوا لآل جعفر الطعام. And make food for the people of Ja'far. When Ja'far ibn Abi Talib passed away رضي الله عنه. طيب, we said يحرم على النساء زيارة القبور. النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم لعن أو زائرات القبور لأنهن بص يا عم جمال لأنهن قليلات التحمل فقد يفعلن المحرمات. Number one, they cannot take the hardship أو it's hard on them. And number two, وقد يكون سببا للفتنة في موضع يذكر بالآخرة. Sometimes the mixing can get you out of the main thing. You're here to get a reminder not to look at women. طيب, Assalamu alaikum. Okay, you decide to go visit the grave this week. Visiting the graves is very good act of worship, and we should do it. Again, I will cover this in details. You're entering the graves. When you should say Assalamu alaikum, as we hear, دار قوم مؤمنين وإنا إن شاء الله بكم لاحقون. Some dua, أنتم السابقون وإنا إن شاء الله بكم لاحقون. So Assalamu alaikum, you say Assalamu alaikum. By the way, they reply, they respond to you. Although they are dead, but they respond, they hear that salam. You say Assalamu alaikum, دار قوم مؤمنين, O believers, and you are before us, and we will follow you absolutely and 100%. طيب, I think I have one more about. One more. Yeah, this is the last one. Some people sometimes take it. This happened yesterday with one of our brothers. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give him sabr. It's very important to support somebody who lost a family member. Very important. Don't take it easy. Take it seriously. The person in that situation needs your support. So you call him to the masjid, and the time in Islam 3 days only for the whole family to accept the ada. They come to the masjid, the brother in the masjid, you call him, you phone him, you write him an email, whatever it is. See what's the way. The people here, they hold a place for that. We go just for this, following that hadith, to support them and to give them that we're with you guys, and we alhamdulillah we make dua for you. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam كان إن لله يقول إن لله ما أخذ وله ما أعطى كل شيء. And that's a dua that should be said when somebody dies. وإن قال عظم الله أجرك أحسن الله عزاءك فلا حرج يجوز البكاء على الميت. These are the things that should be said when you go to a janazah or you heard that somebody passed away. Okay, you need to memorize them. 3 days for the whole family except for the wife. The wife should stay for 4 months and 10 days. 4 months, 10 days, doing hidad, which is the mourning for morning. Listen, morning in morning. Yeah. Mourning for her husband. 4 months, 10 days. Why? Because respecting the time that they lived together. And he was always, the man, alhamdulillah, is a good thing in the life of his wife, right? Right?
Whether with the man, like the husband should mourn.
Not even 1 day, man. That's reality, man. He can go get married right away. Okay. So, unless she's pregnant, her time, her iddah, finished right away after she gave birth. So it can be 9 months, and it can be 1 day. Right? The iddah of the pregnant lady can be 1 day, it can be 9 months. How long, it depends how long the pregnancy was for. طيب, these are quickly about the Aza, done, Jazakallah khairan. About the Aza and offering condolences to the family of the deceased. As I said, that was a technicality. I was talking about the technicality. There are lots about the virtue of praying the Salat al-Janazah, the virtue of carrying the Janazah, the virtue of following the Janazah until the grave, what I'm going to get when I do that, what should I say after, what we need to do after we bury somebody, what the Janazah will hear from us after we bury. These are spiritual things and rewards and stuff like that. We'll be covering this inshallah ta'ala next week. Only 5 minutes. Because we want to allow the brothers to go for the soccer inshallah ta'ala. I'll take the question for 5 minutes. Abdullah and then Mesd. Fadal Abdullah.
When you walk through the graves, what's the adab? Should you step on the grave? Is that allowed?
Absolutely you can't. Yani, why we said that we have to mark the grave to make sure that this is a grave. لِأَلَّا يُهَانْ. You cannot step on the grave. You cannot lie. You cannot even recline on a grave if it's like it has a wall or something like that. When we are walking in the grave, inside the graves, always make dhikr and don't be loud. Respect the situation and the place. Fadal Nazir. You don't have a... Fadal Aisha. Go ahead.
The questions are from the sister. So, how long can we leave the dead body before burying? Keeping the dead body in the refrigerator for a few days, is this allowed or is this haram? Also, does that hurt the dead person?
Okay. We take it from the hadith right away. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam ordered us to hasten in burying the dead person. Not only walking with him, to hasten the process. Which means that leaving the dead body for a long time after, it's against the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. I cannot say it's haram. Why? Because we have lots of cases. We have to wait for the medical examiner, and sometimes it takes a week or so. It's out of our hand. Sometimes the mother is back home and she's like, I want my son back. I want him. I want to bury him here. So what we're going to do? It's not haram, but it's not recommended. Fadal.
Two questions. You said throwing a bit of dirt. Is that on top of the lahd or before you put the lahd on? This question.
No, after the lahd.
After the lahd.
Yeah, usually I wait until even we put the lid, do whatever you want. Because I see sometimes people, it should be on the body itself, by the way. It should be on the body, like, how I'm going to say it. Yani, the lahd itself, it's close to the body. Like you're not throwing at the top of the grave. Yani, mainly you're putting it very close to the body. But the people misuse it, and over here we don't have lahd, so they throw and rain the body with dirt. Okay, so we wait until we cover it and we'll tell them do it.
Second question. You mentioned caskets several times during the presentation. So is there a requirement to have a casket?
No. A requirement to have the body in the casket. Yeah, you can't carry a dead body like that and walk with it. No, you can't.
Transport it.
Yeah, you can't transport it. Yeah, without a casket. Absolutely not. Even back home. Again, I understand. In Saudi Arabia, they do it. People get used to it. But back home, we didn't do it. We used casket, by the way. And with the man, it's not covered. With the woman, it's covered casket. As a respect for the body. Some countries, they don't do it with casket, but they cover still the body of the sister. Okay? But here we bury without the casket.
So you take the casket to the graveyard?
No. We take him from the casket. We put
in
him
the graveyard.
outside the graveyard.
Yeah.
So the casket doesn't go inside the grave.
Not the grave, the graveyard.
The graveyard, yeah, absolutely.
And then you take the body.
You know, this is the grave. We put the casket here.
Okay.
Open the casket, carry the body, put it nicely in a very, very gentle way, and we follow all that. Yeah, usually what happens, used to do it, and my brother over there, Sheikh Nasser, does for sure the same. I stand at the top of the grave. I have the brothers, the volunteer, do this, not to do this, do this. So I give them instructions to make sure that it's 100% inshallah the right way and the way of the Prophet ﷺ. Because you get people, again as I said, some people they believe in uncovering the face. So brother from there, please uncover the face. Go ahead, take a hike. That's what I do. Forget about him. So we do the right thing, cover, leave. Fadl.
So like people usually like right after a person passes away, they have like a meal or something like.
Eat, man. Sometimes when you're hungry, I eat from
No,
it.
I'm asking. Like,
There is food eat. Yani don't say that it's haram. What we say that the source of the food shouldn't be from the family of the deceased, but the community should get. If there is food, I will eat. I eat from it. Tell you something. Wallahi, if we have time, I spent 6 months in California single. I didn't have my family with me. So the Yemeni brothers over there, most of them they were Yemeni. They bring the dead body with lots of food, man. So my fridge is full for 2 weeks. Do you think that I'm going to say no to that?
no, I'm not saying no. I'm saying what. Like,
It's not haram.
What's the sunnah?
It's sunnah, as I said, that the people of the community make food for the family of the deceased, not for you.
Is it right away though? Like
Right away, right away.
Like say after.
Now after the death, after you bury him and you come back.
Or whatever, like that.
I don't know if it's Isha or no, but Isha is too late, man. Early.
About the dua when you go to the graveyard, aside from that generic dua that you do when you enter the graveyard, if you're going visiting different people, you make specific du'as for each one?
Yeah, if you have somebody and you're visiting your father, make dua for your father.
But is there an etiquette like how you're supposed to be positioned versus the...
No. It's all about like standing in front of the grave itself.
So
Like I'm facing Qibla and all of this. No. There is no specific hadith about it. Do you have something, Asha? Last question from...
Yes, please.
Writing the name on the grave.
We said it's against the sunnah, but the people will do it because here it's a law. Sometimes you have to mark the qabr. Go ahead, Akhi.
Yes, Sheikh, I would like to share some information. Brother Muhammad was asking about you want to go, let's say,
Back home.
I would like to share with everyone. Furthest you bury, God will give you more ajr. Let's say I'm from back home, let's say I'm from Saudi Arabia and I'm buried in Canada. I will get more ajr from God that I am buried away from my home.
Jazakallah khair, Akhi. Barakallah
And
feek.
one thing more, in Saudi Arabia, Jannatul Mara and Jannatul Ruqiyya, there are two graveyards, Medina and Makkah and Medina. So they have a cycle, let's say, as Sheikh mentioned,
Yeah, every
25 years,
Yes,
something like
yes.
that. They go by the cycle. Those graveyards, they bury
Yes.
same person in the, let's say, a person is buried 20 years back, they remove the bones and they bury the next person over there.
Okay.
So just to share.
Jazakallah khair. Barakallah feek, Akhi. Jazakallah khair. Last.
Can you put the epitaph for the morning?
What?
Epitaph, like any kind of
The
names or those kind of things.
Oh, what?
Names.
Name for the deceased person.
Where?
Like beside the grave.
Well, that's the same question. We said you shouldn't do it, but if it is in a place that you can be missing the grave or too many graves over here, or by law or regulations of the place, we have to follow it. It shouldn't be done, but if we have to do it, we'll do it. It's not a big sin. It's not going to be, the person will not be punished, inshallah, because of it. If we're doing it for a reason. Not to say this person, like some people tell you what happens, that we always exaggerate in doing these things. So some people, يا أيتها النفس المطمئنة ارجعي إلى ربك راضية مرضية فادخلي في عبادي وادخلي جنتي, which is the last few ayat from Surah Al-Fajr. Some people which says that you are in Jannah. No, he's not in Jannah. I'm not sure. He might be in Jannah, he might not. The same with due respect to the brother, dying far or soon, it's your amal at the end of the day. You do good, you'll get good. You buried anywhere in the stomach of the whale, it's your amal. And at the end of the day, what you do, you will get, inshallah. Jazakumullah khairan. They have to go for soccer. We'll chat after. Me and you. Jazakumullah khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. And thank you for attending to us. Jazakumullah.